So I just got out of seeing this new movie called The Home, starring Pete Davidson. This is one of these scream unscenes. You didn't know what you were going to get whenever you go see it. And I took a gamble and I saw this movie. And I saw this trailer not too long ago and I was kind of intrigued. I was like, okay, it's got Pete Davidson in it. It's got some creepy elements that I'm kind of intrigued or whatever. It had a pretty decent trailer, but I kind of felt like I knew where it was going. And watching this movie, what do I think? Fuck this movie, okay? Fuck this movie. Don't go see this movie. I have no idea how this movie made it to theaters. It baffles me, honestly. I was so ready for this movie to be over. I almost walked out a few times, but I was like, no, I'm gonna stick it out. I'm gonna check it out. And honestly, like, I'm kind of a fan of Pete Davidson. I mean, I'm not like a huge fan, but I think he has some good comedic chops, you know. I was kind of like skeptical because of Bodies, and he kind of played like a little bit of a goober in that movie, and this is a completely different movie. But I thought this movie had some, like, you know, intriguing elements from the trailer. And so when the movie came on, I was kind of like, okay, let me give this movie a shot. And immediately, it's a fucking drag. I was like, okay, it's a little bit of a slow burn, but it's going to pick up and we're going to get going and everything. And you got Pete Davidson. His name's Max, and he's this troubled young adult that gets in trouble. He lives with some foster parents, and he gets in trouble early on in the movie. And to stay out of jail, I guess his foster dad has some strings with the local PD or whatever, or law enforcement, and he looks just like a Temu version of fucking Tyler Perry. And you'll see what I'm talking about if you go see this movie, but I urge you not to. Don't give this movie your money. But to stay out of jail, he has to go and do community service at this old person's home. And that's where the movie really gets going. Get going, that's the wrong choice of words, because this movie never gets going. This movie is fucking dragging its fucking feet all the way through it. And just the directing of this movie, it's just so choppy. The editing, it's there's so many close-up shots. There's so many it's got some kind of bizarre imagery, and then we're gonna wake up from a dream, or we're gonna do some crazy stuff over here, and then we're just gonna cut, and then we're gonna be all okay. And it's just like, what in the hell? Like, it was just very lazy filmmaking, in my opinion. Besides a couple of like maybe serviceable, good, I guess you would say, like, artsy fucking shots, the movie fucking sucked. Okay, this is a mix between Shutter Island and what else did this remind me of? This kind of reminded me of, there was a movie on, like, y'all let me know. I can't remember. I remember seeing this movie on like either Netflix or Hulu or something, where these and I'm going to get into spoiler territory here, because just mentioning this, so you have been warned. So 3, 2, 1, here comes the spoilers. He's at this old person's home, and he realizes something ain't right. He's not supposed to go to the 4th floor. He hears screams. He goes up there. He gets it looks like it to be like attacked by some like really creepy old people. And then he gets like this like crazy email on his laptop that really doesn't really get resolved. I mean, it kind of does, but not really. And it's supposed to be like somebody that's there that's wanting help, because their grandmother or something was already in the home and supposed to be on the 4th floor. So they need Pete Davidson to figure it out, figure the fucking mystery out. Okay, figure out Blue's Clues and help the old people on the 4th floor, because the staff and the doctor is not who they seem to be. Okay, and so when he's trying to unravel this entire mystery, which is, it's hardly a mystery. I kind of saw it a mile away coming, you know. And I would say this is kind of like Shutter Island meets Get Out, okay? And with the dabble of that fucking movie I saw on Hulu or Netflix, where the older staff or the older people are trying to steal youth from younger people, and that's exactly what they're trying to do with Pete Davidson. They're actually playing a game with him the entire time, and then they, you know, like, even with this image right here, this is how they extract it from his gland from behind his eye or something. They give some bullshit reason. There's a lot of exposition in like the second half and climax or whatever, and then you realize his foster parents are in on it, and Timu fucking Tyler Perry and his foster mother, and it gets so fucking stupid. You got like a skinny Weird Al Yankovic looking motherfucker in this movie. Okay, look, I'm sorry for cussing so much, but I was just like, please make the pain stop right now, because I mean, Pete Davidson, just stick with comedy or something, man. This isn't for you, dude. Like, and he's not even what ruined this movie. I just couldn't believe him in this role, because it was more distracting than anything. But it was the directing, it was the editing, it was everything about this movie. It was like it was like you don't even care about the mystery, because I mean, if you've seen a couple of movies, you're kind of like, oh, I bet you it ends like this, or it's going to be something like this, and about 9 times out of 10 you're going to be right on your guesses. It's just, man, it's just boring. It's just sometimes my eyes were hurting just because some of the editing choices and all the flashes, and they think they're being artsy, but they're just being fucking stupid, and I just was not a fan of this. I will never see this movie again, and I urge everybody else not to see this. I was hoping this was going to be one of those Scream Unscenes where it was going to be either Ick or that movie Together, but I got this one. So, and you know what? It was a red flag, because I was like, okay, this movie's coming out here soon, and I tried to look up a bunch of reviews for this. I can't find a single fucking one, so I might be the only one on the internet. I don't know. You let me know. There might be some after tonight, because my audience was pretty packed. But a lot of people started walking out halfway through this movie. I mean, I wouldn't say a lot, but I'd say like a handful, and I was like, okay, they're not digging it either. But I was like, I'm going to stick this out. And you come to find out that, like Pete Davidson's older brother that you thought passed away, or he thought that passed away, actually was sent to this home as well. And he's one of the creepy characters on the 4th floor, okay? And he has to get them out. And at this point, it's like fight or flight. Everything that you thought you knew, you didn't know, and then it turns into this fucking like action movie at the end, where Pete Davidson, he gets knocked out. They drain some of his youth, or whatever you want to call it, for them to stay theirs. And the scene is so fucking stupid, because when they are draining, when you see this scene right here, that's right here on this image, the old people are all like standing around him while the doctor's like pulling it out, and they're all like starting to like almost get undressed and have like this like orgy around him, and like, oh, we're gonna have sex again, and oh, blah 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 blah. And then you see like Timu Tyler Perry on top of the fucking doctor, and I'm like, oh my god, what the hell is going on? This is so stupid. And even like imagery wise, it was like, man, it was so fucking stupid. And then he wakes up on the 4th floor with the rest, and he breaks out. And then he decides he finds these little weapons like axes and knives and stuff, and he breaks out. He starts killing the entire staff, and they have like this whole excuse me, I'm so fucking pissed I can't talk. They had this whole entire hallway scene where he comes out the elevator, and he's got like 2 axes in his hand, and he's just hacking and slashing, and thinks it's the fucking hallway scene in The Raid or on Daredevil from Netflix or some bullshit, which it's not executed that great, but there's just blood and guts and gore, and he's just killing everybody, and he's like covered in blood, and they think it's this whole badass scene, and kills the entire staff. And then what happens at the fucking end? He fucking goes to the main guy that you thought that was a good guy. I knew the entire staff was some baby bag bullshit, so it's not a big surprise. But he goes to him, and he opens up his eye, and he says, I'm taking it all back. And then it shows him just like goes back to the doctor's room or whatever, but then the light glares the image, and it blurs out, and then I guess everyone got like everything else back, and he got his strength back to be able to get the old people out, and his brother and everything. And that's the ending of the movie. They're all leaving the fucking home movie, and so everybody that was on the 4th floor that were victims of all this shit, they're walking out. And I was like, okay, I told you the entire fucking movie, okay? So you didn't have to see it, all right? If it sounds like something you want to go see it, but I urge you not to. I would barely even say this is like Netflix serviceable, okay? I have no idea how it's in the theaters. This movie fucking sucked. I hope horror movies get better throughout the year, because we had some good ones, but this is not one of them. I give this one a fucking 1 out of 10. Like, fuck this movie.